My name is Versie Hamlett. I am a member of the class of 2023 for Westar, and today I would like to interview Captain Wendell Wainwright for our leadership legacy story. And Captain Wainwright, thank you so much for coming today to share your story with us.
My pleasure.
Captain, can you tell us a little bit about you?
A little bit about me. Well, I was born in Somerville, Tennessee. I lived in Somerville, Tennessee up to my age of 18. I attended the Fayette County Training School, which was a segregated school back then, from first grade to the eighth grade. And then I went to high school. At that time, it was Fayette County Training High School. And I think in my sophomore year, the name changed to W.P. Ware High School, where I graduated from in 1969. After leaving high school, I went to UT Martin, and I was there in Utopia. I liked my experiences there. Upon leaving UT Martin, I went to work for the railroad for a while. I worked for the USO for a while, and then I took a job overseas. I went to Thailand. I worked there for 3 years with the USO. Upon returning back from Thailand at the close of the war, I took a job with the U.S. Public Health Service. And I worked with them for 30 years and retired in 2009. And the rest is history.
So you military for 30 years.
Yes.
So can you share with me how going to a segregated school system impacted your career? What impacts did it have?
It was impactful. I remember fondly that during my school days, early school days, I could not ride the school bus at the end of my street. My sister and our neighbor and I had to walk from our street in 401 Charleston Street to downtown Somerville to catch the bus. We could not take it at the end of our street. And that impacted me greatly. And I hated the Fayette County Public Schools for that. And now I'm the chairman of the school board.
You are.
And that's a change that I thought would never occur. And I said to myself, I didn't want any child, black or white, to have to go through that. You know, if you live right down the street and the bus can pick you up, why not? But, you know, times changed.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for that. Do you remember an event that happened in your youth that had a major impact on your life?
Well, that school bus situation, not being able to catch the school bus at the end of my street, it's always been.
If you could leave one message to the future generations, what would you say?
Continue your education, limit yourself with social media, and follow your dreams.
As you look back, what do you wish you had accomplished that you haven't?
Travel. I have not traveled like I wanted to travel. It was my hopes and dreams to return home after retirement and travel, but I have not done that, and I'm hoping to do it soon.
So what are places that you would love to see?
I would like to see Cuba. I would like to go back to Thailand. I would like to go to Switzerland. I would like to go to South Africa and Australia.
Describe your philosophy of life.
Live to the fullest, but it comes with time and maturity. When you're young, you're trying to get your life together, but as you retire and get older, live it to the fullest. Be happy. Do the things that make you happy.
Now, how would you like to be remembered?
I think I would like to be remembered as a servant, one who provides service and one who provides information that was really needed and available as a servant.
So I noticed that in the community, after 30 years of being in the military, you've come back to the community to serve, as you just stated, and you serve on several boards. You are the chairman of the Board of Education here. What other boards do you serve on?
I serve on the Fayette County Library Board. I serve on the Fayette County Citizen for Progress Board, Corrections Board. I am a former member of the Foster Care Review Board of Fayette County. I think that's it. But I should run quite a few.
So you're not really retired.
No, I'm not. No, not by no means. It's something to do every day. Oh, I'm also on the leadership Fayette program.
And you're a West Star graduate of
I am.
2020.
I think 2020.
2020. Okay. So your mom was very well known here in the community. How do you think she would feel about your success in life?
I think she was okay with it, but if I really wanted to upset her, I tell her I got to go to a meeting. And I always rung a bell with her. You're always going to meetings. You're going to meetings. I think she was very proud. Very proud.
So I noticed that you're very involved with Tent City, and we have that displayed here. You want to talk a little bit about how that impacted Fayette County during the years, the changes that have come because of that, and just your involvement with the project.
Well, when I was in high school, that's when Tent City was going on in its mid-60s. A lot of my classmates were really impacted with it. I must say I was not. Only time I really got impacted with doing some demonstrations. I participated in a few demonstrations and got hosed down with water hose and so on. But other than that, I wasn't really impacted with that. But it really brought a divide in the county. Like a black, a white. It limited to the resources for the many individuals. Again, by living in Somerville, downtown Somerville, we weren't directly impacted as those who lived in the rural areas. But yes, sometimes there were places that you could not go. Certain grocery stores you couldn't go to, certain gas stations you couldn't go to. But again, personally, my family, we weren't as impacted as others. And in a way, I guess that put us in a different light. But at the same time, I did feel the scores of being a black person in Fayette County. It was a difficult time, but yet at the same time, for many, less than myself, if you wasn't directly involved with it, you really didn't know it existed. Through the school situation, we would go segregated. We had inferior books, we had inferior supplies, but we survived. We had some good teachers back then, real good, dedicated teachers. Tent City really showed how you can take nothing and make something out of it.
So for those of us who may not have been here or been in the county, can you share the back history for Tent City? What happened?
Tent City happened when black individuals decided to go and register to vote. They were sharecroppers, most of them sharecroppers. And those people decided to vote were not accepted by the landowner. And once they decided to register to vote, they were removed and they had no place to go. Mr. Shepherd Toes, a landowner, a black landowner, he has some acreage. He allowed them to come there. And Mr. John McFerrin and Mr. Hoppy Jameson were individuals that was able to acquire army tents. They erected the tents, and that's where they lived. They lived about 2 miles down the road in this open area. And they was there for about a year and a half.
So at that time, they were trying to have an opportunity to vote.
Correct.
And today, some people have that opportunity but don't use it. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think about what Martin Luther King said. He said, what is to have the right to vote if you do not know for what wish to vote? And I think that's where we are today. Everybody has the right to vote, but very few people take the interest to vote. And that's sad. Very sad, because a lot of people died for the right to vote.
I want to thank you for your service to Fayette County. I want to thank you for the projects that you lead, especially for the project for Tent City that you put a lot of effort and energy into for the next generation, because it's so important. Because if we don't know where we've been, we don't know where we're going to be right now. So I'm very grateful for your leadership here in Fayette County. And before we leave, are there any parting words of advice?
Again, education is very important. You can't take it for granted, and you're never going to learn too much. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, again, this is Versie Hamlett, West Star class of 2023. Thank you.